So here we go. We have the first playing game, Mississippi Valley State and Western Kentucky. I'm going Mississippi Valley State because Mississippi Valley State has a better overall record. Western Kentucky is under 500, so I don't see them getting into Mississippi State. This is my first for Mississippi State, Lamar, Vermont. I got Lamar. BYU, Iona. This should be a fun game. I'm going to see how Iona does. The analyst said with VCU last year, a lot of people didn't think they got it. They got in the first four, and then they got to the final four. They use it as motivation. So I think Iona. I'm going to go Iona over BYU. And Cal, South Florida. It'd be interesting to see Cal. Who's Cal? If Cal wins this game, who they play. I can't remember who they play. I just had the first four teams. I'm going to go South Florida, though, over Cal, because I think South Florida had some pretty good wins this year, and they're in a much better conference than Cal. So that's South Florida. So to review the first four: Mississippi Valley State, Western Kentucky, Mississippi Valley State, Lamar, Vermont, Lamar, Iona, BYU, Iona, and South Florida, Cal, South Florida. So sorry, something on my phone. Okay, so here we go. We have Kentucky, Mississippi Valley State. I like Kentucky, the overall number one seed. Easy pick for me. Then we got Iowa State, Connecticut. This should be a fun game. 8-9 games, always very fun. I'm going to go Connecticut, and that should be fun. Rematch of last year's Final Four, Kentucky and Connecticut. That'd be hard for Kentucky to get past Connecticut if they want to make the Sweet 16. I'll get to that then. Next we got Wichita State and VCU. This should be a very fun game. VCU being last year's Cinderella team, winning the Colonial Athletic Association Conference. They're in 12 seed this year. I'm surprised. I thought they could have gotten an 11 seed, maybe a 10 seed. Last year they managed an 11 seed. They're playing Wichita State, who I think is one of the most underrated teams, one of the best teams in the country, to be honest with you. In the same conference as Creighton, and just Creighton. So this should be a fun game. I like Wichita State to win by 1 point in overtime. So we got Wichita State. Next we got Indiana, New Mexico State. I would go with New Mexico State, but Indiana's too good. I think that when Indiana's on and they're good. When they're bad, they can struggle. But I saw Indiana play Minnesota and played them really well. So Indiana. Next we got UNLV and Colorado. Colorado was in a very bad conference. The only reason, no offense to anybody, to the Colorado players or anybody who plays at Colorado, or Colorado players and fans, the only reason you're in this is because you won your conference tournament and your conference was awful this year. No offense, that's the truth. So UNLV was in a much better conference this year. So, and I think they're the better team. So I'm going UNLV. Baylor, South Dakota State. Upset alert here. Yeah, I'm going South Dakota State. South Dakota State has some pretty good exterior guards. So I think Baylor I thought Baylor is a very good team, but I thought they could easily been one of the best teams in the country. But they didn't show up against Missouri or Kansas this year. But if they beat one of those games, they'd be a 1 seed. So I think the 3 seed is going to definitely affect them. So I'm going South Dakota State over them. Notre Dame, Xavier. I thought Notre Dame being a 7 seed was kind of I thought they could have made it a 6 seed or 5 seed. But if they would have won the Big East tournament, they would have been a 4, maybe even a 3 seed. But they lost to UNLV. I didn't think, not UNLV, Louisville. But I didn't think it would be that bad. I didn't think they would go down to a 7 seed. But they're a 7 seed, and they're playing Xavier, Notre Dame over Xavier. And then we got Duke and Lehigh. Duke. I hate Duke, but silly. So next we got third round, Kentucky, Connecticut. This should be a fun game. I don't think it's going to be easy for Kentucky at all. I'm going Kentucky, though, over Connecticut. Next, we got Wichita State and Indiana. Wichita State, I think, is going to come out against Indiana. So, Kentucky and Wichita State. Next, we got UNLV, South Dakota State. South Dakota State, it was no offense to them. It was nice they got the upset over Baylor. I think UNLV is going to really help them. I got UNLV over them. And then, as much as I love Notre Dame and I hate Duke, I got to go Duke over Notre Dame. So we got the Sweet 16. We got number 1 seeded Kentucky, number 5 seeded Wichita State. In that game, this should be fun. I know a lot of people. Kentucky's easily the best team in the country with Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, Anthony Davis, and Marcus Teague. and John Calipari is one of the best coaches in the country. I actually gonna have that upset. I'm going Wichita State. I think Wichita State has the team that I think they can upset Kentucky. So they're in that, and then you got UNLV and Duke. Duke, I had them going the Elite Eight, and so the Elite Eight in the East, Wichita State and Duke. I like Wichita State to upset Duke, and so surprisingly, from the South, I have Wichita State going in the Final Four. That's my picks. Next is the West.